Chill. You already know it's your boy Joe back at it again. CodingPhase.com, the one and only. We are here, man, because we got some really good questions last night, right? Last night I spent around an hour with a student, right? And not a student yet, but someone who was interested in CodingPhase. And they had some really good questions and said, Joe, there's a whole bunch of different, developer roadmaps out there. Okay. I mean, right now, if you go on YouTube, right, and you search web developer roadmap, okay, you search for this, there's a bunch of different web developer roadmaps from everybody. Okay. Everybody and their mother, right, has a developer roadmap. Okay. But I'm going to tell you this. Most of the roadmaps that are out there, they're not wrong. Okay. There's nothing wrong with them. The only issue with the developer roadmaps is that they are long-term roadmaps. Okay? Get that into your head. Long-term roadmaps. Okay? So if I go in and I show you guys, for example, was a roadmap or developer roadmap, right? This is probably one of the most popular ones, right? They show you front end, back end, full stack, right? A whole bunch of them, right? Let's start with the front end. Okay. There's so many skills in here that people show you, right? And they say, well, you got to learn this, right? And when you learn this, you got to learn this. And after you learn this, you got to learn this. And then you got to learn this and you got to learn this and so on and so on and so on. Right? So yeah, this individual was asking me questions, right? And this is why I do this meetings with anyone who's interested in becoming a developer and has questions about how to become a developer and how we can help you out at CodingPhase.com. By the way, guys, right now on CodingPhase.com, everything on the website is 40% off when you use the link on the description, okay? When you use that link on the description, it gives you everything 40% off, okay? Literally, you could get the diamond membership, gold membership, $20 becomes what is like $12, right? Around there, it's not that bad. Okay, you go in and you check this out, gold membership, right? Add to cart. Okay, checkout. You basically get it for $12, dirt cheap. Okay. Same thing for the diamond membership, 40% off, okay? Literally everything that's in there, 40% off right now, right? 6 months, right? Diamond membership, go to checkout. Guess what? When you use that link, July 4th, 2023, that's the coupon code, 25, right? Dirt cheap. You're saving $150, okay? Now, this individual is asking me these questions and he's telling me like, yo, but what's the difference, right? On what you guys have at CodingPhase.com and, just your roadmap. Like, why did you choose this roadmap that you have? And why does it work for people? And why so many people have chosen to go with your roadmap instead of everybody else? And it's very simple, okay? When someone comes in and tells you, hey, to become a developer, you need to learn all of the skills, okay? They're not wrong, okay? It's going to take you time, but most of the skills that's here, around 70% of those skills, you're going to have to learn in the long term. But what I try to do is go in and say, okay, what skills can you get with this HTML, CSS, right? What roles can you get with HTML, CSS? And then from there, continue learning everything else. And how did I come up with this roadmap? Okay. And how did I come up with this idea? It's very simple. right? Guys, we've been doing this since 2017. We started CodingPhase.com in 2017, and we started helping people get into job positions in 2017. I mean, you do the math from 2017 to 2023, how many years that is, okay? But what we learned from 2017 to 2018 is something that was crucial to everything, right? That we do now. And it was that even though I can teach you how to become a front-end developer, or I could teach you how to become a full stack developer, that does not guarantee that you're going to get a job. And this is what's happening to everybody that's out here following everybody's roadmaps, because no one tells you this part. And it's the fact that if you show up to a company and you say, well, I have enough skills that I deserve a $100,000 plus salary, right? That company is going to look at the skills that you have, right? Even though you do qualify because you have the skills, you have the knowledge, right? But then now they have to go in and do a business decision, right? Does it make sense to go and pay somebody top dollar when they have no experience? So that's what I learned in 2017 to 2018, right? A small amount of people will go in and get positions. Okay, I'm just being honest, a small amount. So let's say 100 people came into CodingPhase and I taught them front-end development, or I taught them full stack development. Let's say 15 to 20 of them will go in and actually get a job, right? So that means that that's like a 10% out of everybody. And the reason why the rest of the other people wasn't getting positions, it wasn't because they wasn't good, or they didn't learn the skills, or that, we didn't teach them good. No, it was this barrier to entry, experience, okay? Without experience, you're basically showing up on a job of like, please give me a chance. Haven't you guys seen this like on LinkedIn or Twitter? Like people like damn near begging for someone to give them an opportunity, right? It's like that in interviews. It's like that when you go in and apply to jobs, right? People go in and it's like, just fingers crossed. Hopefully someone gives you a chance. Hopefully someone goes in and looks at your potential, right? And they might even give you an interview. But then from there, they come in and give you the algorithms book and throw it on top of you and say, well, guess what? Now you got to compete with all of the other college students that haven't built shit either, just like you. They might have a degree, but they also don't have any experience. So now you guys got to survive and figure out who's gonna be able to get this potential opportunity. It's like basically throwing 100 people in a room and throwing one knife into the room and say, one of you guys survive. All of you guys got to kill yourselves with this one knife, and one guy is going to survive at the end, and then he's going to get that official potential opportunity. Okay? So when you come in with experience, it's a different ballgame. Okay? It's a different ballgame. Okay? So for example, right? Why do I go in and talk about things like content editor, right? The job of content editor or content manager or web producer, right? Or web administrator is probably one of the easiest positions that you could get into. There's people that don't know how to code and got this position. Straight up. I'm not capping. Okay. I'm letting you guys know the truth. This is why I mentioned to you guys, go for content editor, because it's that simple. There's people that work at major companies, right? And they have a cheat sheet. They have a piece of paper that tells them this is how to write a paragraph. This is how to write a title. This is how you go in and basically you format an image to go to the right, because they don't know how to do it themselves. And they still get the position, right? So someone who already knows, let's say HTML, CSS, right? You come in, you're a beginner, you don't know nothing. Now you go in and you learn web development. You start learning web development, the basics. You learn HTML, CSS, right? When you go to these interviews, you are actually above everybody else who was applying to the position. Most of those people do not know how to code. They don't know how to build anything on their own. They know how to use Wysiwygs, right? Which are like drag and drops, or, I'll give you an example, like, Shopify, right? For those of you guys that are beginners and don't even know what a Wysiwyg, I'll show you right now a Wysiwyg, right? And how this will work, okay? Let's say right now you are working for CodingPhase.com, right? And you work for me as a content editor, okay? And I tell you, well, I have this article that I need to post on a page, right? I need this to be within this category. And then from there, I want you to go and upload this image, right? This is the Wysiwyg, okay? There's a title for the page, right? This is the content, right? So the person comes in and says, well, I'm going to use my Wysiwyg, because they don't know how to do this by hand. They don't know how to code this, right? So again, this is what a Wysiwyg looks. And this is a very plain one. WordPress is a little bit more robust than this. But again, this right here, see paragraph heading, right? How to make something bold, how to make something italic, how to do bullet lists, right? How to do outdents, indents, right? How to align things, right? How to upload an image, right? How to add a video, okay? This is what some people use, right? And this is what you could use as a content editor. So at the end of the day, technically you don't need to write code by hand, but this is a great way for you to get started in the industry. And I'll tell you why, because you are able to go in and work at a major company. So you could use that as leverage, right? You can then go in and say, hey, I work with a team, right? I work with the developers, right? I also work with the designers. I also work with the marketing team, right? Which you actually do, right? So then now when you go in and you say, well, I got the skills to be a front-end developer, I can actually use this history of work that I've done to be able to now say, not only do I know how to do front-end development, but I've also been in the mix. I've already worked on a team. I already know the process of, delivering content, or creating pages by a certain deadline, or how to use Jira, or how, there's a lot of different things. Okay. So again, this is what I learned over time, that, going in and trying to just learn how to code just to learn how to code is a big mistake. You have to go in and strategize. Now, I'm not saying this is for everybody, right? This is not for everybody, right? This is for the people that, one, want to start getting paid as soon as possible, right? Two, want to guarantee their chances, right? Or have a higher chance of getting the high paying jobs than everybody else, right? Because no matter what, we all going to have to learn all of the skills, right? But the worst thing you want to do is learn all of the skills and then show up and be like, hey man, I've never done this before, and I never worked at a company, and I have no one to vouch for me, but hey man, I'm qualified. This is where you're going to go in there and you're going to basically get on your knees and be like, yo, please, can I get an opportunity? You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that girl, right? You don't want to be that person, right? That's showing up asking for an opportunity. It's not a good feeling, right? And there's also too less chances of you getting that opportunity, because there's so many people trying to get an opportunity. Just someone to go in and look at their potential, okay? Just for people to look at their potential, okay? So the best way and the best, roadmap for a developer is to literally get experience. Not waiting until you finish everything, right? But on your way to learn everything from development, okay? The moment you learn HTML, CSS, you need to figure out what type of roles you can apply to with just HTML, CSS. That allows you to get into the mix, okay? The moment you get to become good with JavaScript, you go in and say, hey, what type of roles can I get with JavaScript, right? The moment you start learning how to do some type of backend language, PHP, C#, JavaScript with Node.js, etc., Then you go in and you start applying for those type of roles. This is the best way for you guys to guarantee success. Okay? If you're waiting for trying to learn everything, I'm telling you guys right now, I don't go in and talk about these things because I like it. I talk about these things because it gets results. It helps people get into the game. Okay? There's a reason why if you go in and you check the Hall of Fame, shout out to the new members of the Hall of Fame that we just recently added. Zayquay Cage, Web Systems Engineer, IMAX. Dedrick Smith, email developer. Darian Malik, email developer. Okay? And also, too, one thing that I want you guys to notice, everyone here, right, that is on the Hall of Fame, they're adults. These are not little kids. This is not, hey, man, I just graduated high school. I just graduated college. No, these are individuals that already had jobs, that already tried other careers, right? And they're at a position where they're like, you know what? I want to come in. I want to get into the tech industry. I want to learn on my own time. I want to be able to get the best results that I can, right? And as you can see, they're all adults and all diverse. Okay, it's not just one group of individuals. It's everyone that comes to CodingPhase.com that can get in following this roadmap. Okay, it just works. It's logical, right? It's logical shit. You know, a lot of times I joke around like, yo, I'm the developer whisperer. Like I got all the answers. The truth, I don't got all the answers, right? I'm teaching you guys and giving you guys examples of ways to get into the tech industry, right? From my own mistakes. I did that mistake of learning everything about JavaScript, right? I did that mistake, right? 2011, right? When I decided, hey, I want to become a web developer, I went in, I quit my job. I was doing IT. I quit my job and I said, you know what? I'm just going to go in and I'm going to learn everything that I can to learn about JavaScript, right? And literally I sat down in my house for a whole year, just going hard, right? Going hard, right? And then from there, once I got to the point where I got a portfolio, I got some decent projects, and I started getting interviews, I realized, right? And this was from one of the interviews, they straight up told me like this: you have a lot of skills, right? And you know a lot of things, and you could probably be productive on the team. But we will be taking a big risk by hiring you without any experience, right? And then I had the other situations where, okay, even after I learned how to do all of these things, right, on the front end, from there comes in the second part. Well, if these companies are not giving me a job because of experience, let me try to figure out getting into the more enterprise level or like the big companies, the big FANG, right? And my projects and my portfolio and my skills still got me an interview without me even doing anything, right? But then came the reality of, hey, by the way, for you to be able to get this job, we're going to treat you the same way how we treat a brand new college student. So you're going to have to go through these algorithms, right? And they put it right in front of me. And I was like, I thought I was just going to do front end. I thought I was going to be coding. I thought I was going to be building things. Now, my guy, you got no experience. So we got to treat you the same way how they treat every other college student. Here's the algorithms. Here's sort this fucking tree. How will you get from San Francisco to, you know, from San Francisco to Los Angeles in, you know, a certain amount of time? What would be the right way if you was to go and use Google Maps? And some random question, some shit that my head went in, my brain became inside out. I'm like, yo, I'm focusing on coding. I'm focusing on building things. There's people who's asking me some random crazy shit that I just didn't know about. I wasn't really focused on, right? So then now I go in and I come back home and I say, okay, I got to readjust this. What do I have to do to be able to pass those type of interviews? And then I looked at everything. I looked at, different books and different things. And I'm like, shit, this might be another 6 months for me to be able to pass those type of interviews. I already got enough to get the interviews, meaning my portfolio, my skills is great, right? And this is where a lot of you guys be at. You got the skills, you got great portfolios. You get to the point where like, okay, cool, I'm about to get in. I'm getting interviews, but guess what? You got to pass those technical interviews. That could be a 6 months journey. And just like most of the individuals that come to CodingPhase.com, we're not papi and mommy kids. You get what I'm saying? We're not papi and mommy kids. Most of these people that's in here, they don't have the luxury to go in and say, let me take another 6 months. I already invested a whole year or more, right? Let me go and take another 6 months to learn how to pass these interviews, right? No, we need to get paid. We need to get a bag. We need to start making money because we got bills to pay and we got shit that we got to do, right? So that's where I was at. Then I went in, restructured everything, and then I said, let me go in. Instead of me searching online, right? At the time, I think the website I used to go to was like Monster Jobs or something like that. Let me see if that website's still up. Monster Jobs is monster.com, right? At the time, this was like the number one. This was like way before Indeed was popping. Monster was the shit back in the days, right? Now you go to Indeed, okay? So instead of me going in and saying, I want to get a software engineer role, right? I want to get a software engineer role, or me trying to get a front-end developer role, we're going to strategize this, and we're going to do it a different way. We're going to come in, and we're going to search what's the most basic shit that they have that I could do with my eyes closed. I could do JavaScript, right? I could do all of that, but let's go in and start getting experience, right? So we could go in and qualify for those jobs. And what I did was I said, let's search HTML. This was 10 years ago, 10 plus years ago, we could say. This is 2011, right? I went in and I said, let's start with this. Let's figure this out, right? And guess what? When you go in there and you start putting it in by dates, you're going to see every single job that's out there, okay? Every single job that is out there that has to do with some type of web development, anything that has to do on the web, right? When you search HTML, it's going to show you every single job that's out there, okay? And at the time, a job popped up for me that said, we need a product editor. Again, product editor. What did I do for this company? Very simple. I helped them post on Amazon. I helped them post on eBay. I helped them post on their own website, right? So again, I'm like a front-end developer, like a legit front-end developer, right? But I take this role that others will consider a low-tier role, like, oh, this doesn't have engineer on the title. This doesn't have developer on the title. But guess what I did? I went in and got a job in less than a week. In less than a week. I took a whole year to go in to try to get this software developer, software engineer jobs, and then bumped into the fucking wall because I don't got experience. And then from there, now it took me a week. I could just get this regular job and just, I'm good. Guess what happened? 2 months later, right? And at the time, like product editor, which is a content editor, right? Is basically like, again, you're posting and managing a website in the content for an e-commerce company, right? At the time, they didn't give it value how it is now, basically, right? How it was before, it was like, it's low tier, super low tier. Shit, my first job was $13 an hour. Some of you guys will be like, damn, Joe, you should have just went to McDonald's. No, I wouldn't. McDonald's was paying $7.25 at the time, right? $8, $9.25 with experience. So we was doing better than the people that's working at a retail or like, fast food, right? So $13 an hour wasn't shit. But It opened up the doors. It allowed me to go in that when I went to any type of interviews, I can explain what I did for this company and how this was valuable for this company and how I was helping them generate income. So yes, I know how to do front-end development. Yes, I'm a front-end developer. But because I had no experience, I couldn't get those roles. And they were just making it harder for me to get those roles. The moment that I was able to go in and come with that extra book bag, that baggage, right? I came through with the Louis duffel bag of experience, right? In just 2 months, they were treating me different. Yesterday's price was not today's price. All right? So that's how it is, right? Now, again, going back to like 2017 when we came to CodingPhase.com and created this platform, I also was in here because I was like, man, a lot of people are getting, jobs. I see this from boot camps and from, random people on YouTube and this and that. And I'm like, shit, maybe the game changed. Maybe it's much easier now for a junior developer. So when I created this platform, I was giving my students what they wanted to see and what they wanted to get, right? Hey, Joe, I want to learn how to be a front-end developer. Cool, I created the curriculum. Here you go. How to become a front-end developer, how to, get the right projects, how to get the right portfolio. But then from there, I started noticing those things that were dropping them off. They still don't have experience. Companies still don't want to give junior developers the opportunity without experience. So I said, let's go back in and re-strategize this and do it the same way how I did it. The moment I did that, the game changed. Okay? You could ask people that's been here since 2017. Okay? While everybody's out there doing the merge stack, doing this, and that, we've been focusing on getting people into jobs. And I can guarantee you, we could go toe to toe with any other instructor, any other YouTuber, any other people that's out there. I can guarantee you my numbers are higher than everybody else out here when it comes to getting jobs for junior developers. Because we help them get jobs. We go in and we look at the skills that they have and say, every time that you learn a new skill, what type of job you qualify for that. That's the strategy, guys. This is not something that is out of this world, right? It's logical shit. Again, I always bring this example. If you have $1 million project that you got to build a home, think about it like this. This is how businesses look at it, right? I got a house, right? Freaking customer, whoever, a client wants me to build them a house. I'm going to hire a contractor. I'm not going to hire a dude that just learned how to put tiles and give him $1 million contract and say, hey, build us a house. No. They're going to go out of their way and they're going to say, who here out of all of the contractors have actually built homes, right? Either with a company, right? Another company, right? Or on their own. By doing that, then now those individuals already have that knowledge and that experience. So if you're going to pay top dollar, you want people that have done this multiple times. This is why when you go in and you look at Google, right? For example, it's the top company that everybody says, I want to go to Google. I want to do this and that. And every guy that has a Google fucking badge, they walk around like they made it. Every single one of them. I'm a Google developer. I'm an ex-Google developer. Motherfuckers love doing that shit. They love just mentioning Google. They go to the store. It's like, yo, can I get a venti latte? By the way, I'm a Google developer. You get what I'm saying? Dudes go anywhere. They think that shit, that little badge means something. But the reason why people they think that this thing means something is because it is an accomplishment. It's not easy to get there. Most of the developers that work at Google, right? They're not straight out of college. That's a very small percentage. Most of the developers that get to work at Google and most FAANG companies have 3 to 6 companies before they even make it there. There's people that have been trying to get into Google for 10 years plus, and they still haven't made it. And at some point, they make it because they give you a chance to go in and try again every single year if you want to. If you want to go through that process every year, you could go through it. At some point, you're going to get in, right? But the thing is that for a junior developer, they think like, this shit is so easy. I could just go in and just learn the skills and I'm going to be able to get into those companies. It's like, nah. Most people go in and they build experience. The moment you have experience, it helps you out so much. You could be so on the interview or the technical interview, but if you have a track record of you working at companies, they fucking bypass your bullshit interview that you did because you have actually done the job. Not everyone is good at doing interviews. People get nervous, people get scared, people get anxiety, their stomach is rumbling, right? But one thing that no one can take away from you is the fact that you have experience and you have done this before. Bro, I get anxiety when I go into any interview. I go to any type of interview. I still get anxiety. I'm like, damn, I gotta go to this fucking interview. I still get, and I've been doing this shit for 10 plus years. So you as a beginner, that's normal. Trust me, everyone has it. Okay? There's some people that are more cold-minded where they could just go in and shut that shit off. And they could answer all the questions and do all the algorithms and do whatever it is, right? Back to back, right? But some of us, we still get nervous. That's normal. You know what I'm saying? But one thing, once they start going into the projects that we built, yo, I work for this company, this company, this company. Shit, I've built my own applications. I've made money with my own applications. I don't build companies on my own. They got to give me the Golden Hookah. They got to come in and like, yo, hold on, bro. It's like when I see some people online, like I remember in 2017, 2018, I mean, we kind of proved so many people wrong over the years that by now they don't left me alone. They just say, yo, he knows what he's talking about. We just don't like him, right? So at this point, they just don't fuck with me. But back then, people would be like, yo, but you ain't, you never worked at Google, though. You don't work for Facebook, though. You know what I'm saying? And some of these dudes, they think that if I didn't want to, I wouldn't be able to work in those fucking companies. Like, I could fucking work at those companies at any fucking time I want. But the difference is that someone like me knows their value. And why would I work 40 hours to 70 hours a week for a company that's not mine, right? To go and make $200,000, right? $50,000 bonus, a bullshit stocks, right? And make like $300,000 in total comp when I could make $1 million, $2 million a year. What will you do? Do you want the badge that bad? Or do you want to make $2 million and more a year? You do the math. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I was like, nah, I'm not doing that shit. I just don't have the time for it. For me to go in, that's a downgrade for me. To go and make $200,000 just to get a badge to prove to some dweeb that I could make it to Google, I could care less about Google, right? But this is why it's so important to understand that not everyone's path is the same. You get what I'm saying? I remember in 2013, around there, right? I was making some money from niche websites. And I was telling one of my co-workers, right? I was like, bro, you got to start making niche websites. Because this guy was like a genius. And he's working for this company. He's never going to make CTO. He's never going to go like super high within the company because he's not like, how can I say, like, he don't kiss ass. He's not like a super go-getter within the corporate system. He's a dude that knows his thing and he's really good at his job, but is a genius when it comes to programming. And I was telling this guy, I'm like, bro, listen, man, I'm making 50 grand, 80 grand on the side, doing niche websites, doing small little, microservices. Bro, you should be doing this. The dude is like, nah, man, I don't have the passion to be doing that. I just like to work. I come here, they give me the tickets. I do what I have to do. I work on my side projects, and this is where I talk about like the Raspberry Pis and little shit like that. And like Arduinos and dudes doing clap on, clap off and they're excited about shit like that. And this dude was like that. He showed me some projects that he did, some little small robotic shit. I'm like, it was cool, but he's not making a dime from it. He's stuck in his career, right? And I was telling him, yo, you got to start doing niche websites, this, and that. You got to start doing side income. You got to start building your own applications. And I talked to the dude, and the dude is like, nah, that's not me. I'm good with the tickets here. You know, I get to go home. I get paid a good salary. Cool. I'm not saying the guy's name, but I looked him up the other day because I was like, damn, what happened to this guy? This guy was a genius, right? And I looked him up, found him on LinkedIn. The dude spent around 7 more years within that company that we was at, and now it's working at another company. And I know how much that other company is paying, and I guarantee you he don't make more than $160,000 a year. Don't make no more than $160,000 a year. And again, money is not everything, but it's a great way to measure if you're successful or not. There's no way that people could say money doesn't say nothing. It doesn't do anything. But money can go in and show you what type of success have you had within your career, right? If you still on the 160 range in 10 plus years that you've been doing this shit, there's something that you did wrong. Now, going back to what I was saying originally about, you know, all these different career paths, right? There's certain career paths that's going to keep you on just getting the bare minimum. Just getting the bare minimum. And for some of us, we didn't get into this shit to be doing the bare minimum. I ain't go in and started coding, you know, for damn near 16 hours a day in 2011 to be doing the bare minimum. Because the bare minimum, I could have been doing it on any bullshit job out there without having to bust my ass, without having to sacrifice all my time, without me having to get all this gray hairs. All this gray hairs came with a bag. You get what I'm saying? I'd rather go in and invest my time into something that's going to pay me very well. And that's how I'll go in and I decide which career paths I'm going on. Okay? Now, for you guys that are beginners, y'all need to start thinking this way too. Start thinking of yourself as a business, right? This way, when you go into a company, you're not there looking at it like, man, I'm looking for an opportunity. No, they need your services. Now you need to sell your services. You get what I'm saying? If you are a business, as a business owner, right? Who do you think is going to be able to sell more products or get more customers? The guy that has 0 reviews or the guy that has 200 reviews? Think about that. Who will you go and buy from? The guy that showed up with 0 reviews or the guy that has 200 reviews? It's a no-brainer. It's normal, logical shit. I'm not giving you guys something that's over your head that is like, yo, I'm throwing you big words. No, this is logical shit that anyone here can understand. Okay? So this is the same concept. If you go in and you're saying, hey, I want to go and learn all of the skills in one shot with no reviews, with no validation, no one to vouch for you, it's going to be very difficult for you to get paid the most. It's going to be very difficult. They're going to put you through the ring of fire. If you want to go through that and you somehow survive that shit, good luck. Every boot camp has that one guy that goes through the ring of fire and they put him on a pedestal. And they say, look at this guy. Hey, man, this is the type of students that we go in and... No, it's not that they get the results for everybody like this. It's this one guy that went through the ring of fire and fucking survived that shit. This career path that I'm talking about, what we do here with CodingPhase, right, is very straightforward. Every time that you learn a new skill, you need to go in and see what you qualify for. So you could bring, again, think of yourself as a business. We're going to talk about you as a business. So every time that you go in and you try to sell your services, you already have validation from different reviews. That's your references. That's the resume that you have, the companies you work for. Every single time you go in and you have a bigger review, right? You get paid more. That's just how it is. You know, I see sometimes people go in and be mad at some YouTubers and be like I see guys that are geniuses on comment sections, right? And they'll be like, oh, there's YouTube developers, right? YouTube developers, right? They think they know everything. They think this and that. They don't know how to code shit, right? But the truth is that the YouTube developers, they're bringing the value up. While there's one dude who's a genius in his basement, no one knows him. He doesn't try to go and create applications that will go in and bring success and bring awareness to people that he's an authority in the field. He don't go in and try to do Upwork or Fiverr because that's below him, right? There's people that go in and be like, I'm not doing Fiverr. I'm not doing Upwork. That's below me. I already have a $100,000 job, not understanding that getting reviews will get you a $150,000 job. You go in and you say, well, I'm a Shopify developer, for example, right? I'm a Shopify developer. You're making $80,000 at a company. But guess what? You also do Shopify development on the side, freelancing, and you've helped 50 businesses build their own online stores. Out of those 50 businesses, probably 2 or 3 have made $1 million sales, right? Now, when you go into the next company, let's say, Pharrell's BBC label, right? Or BBC fashion brand, or Kylie Jenner's cosmetics, or, some of the big companies like Gymshark, etc., that they're using, Shopify, you can come in and say, yeah, my last job was making, around 90,000, right? And I worked there for 2 years, but I also work on the side and freelance and helped around 50 stores go in and also be able to sell their products, right? I've done, single page applications. I've done, Shopify themes, using Liquid. We've also done using Remix, right? Hydrogen, right? We've used Shopify as a hella CMS, right? So now your range is this big. Plus your history is this big. Guess what? When you go to a company, right, that now needs your services, that they looking for a Shopify developer, now you could demand 150. But if you're one of those dudes that's a genius at home and all you do is just talk shit on the internet, right? Of what's better, Node.js versus PHP. If you're one of those fucking guys having those conversations on the comment section, right? While instead of you actually building something and bringing your value up of your business, because you're the business, right? Guess what? You don't deserve that 150. You don't deserve that 200. You don't deserve that 300,000. You're just a regular developer, just like everybody else here. Everyone else knows how to code. So with this being said, I'm telling you guys, like, go in and use this roadmap that I give you guys. I don't care if you sign up to CodingPhase.com. This is the shit. When you see me on YouTube, we're past YouTube. Straight up. We're past YouTube. I come to YouTube to give information, answer questions, give you guys, feedback, things that has happened to me, so you guys could go and learn. You don't have to sign up to anything to CodingPhase.com. You can learn a lot just from here watching me on YouTube. You get what I'm saying? And I don't care if you sign up to CodingPhase.com. We're past YouTube. Like, hey, I need to get sales. I don't need no sales from YouTube. You come to CodingPhase.com if you want to. Right now, it's 40% off. Why wouldn't you? Right? Now, do I need to go in and tell you guys, please sign up to CodingPhase? I don't need it. The results is there. If you want to go in and get into the game, right, and you want to see a career path that actually works and that gets you success on every step that you're going up, you go to CodingPhase. If not, you go and try whatever you want and do like most people. Once they try everything else, they come back. And guess what I do? I pick them up by the shoulder and say, yo, welcome home. Papi still loves you. And right on the forehead, I say, mwah, give him a kiss on the forehead like a good dad. You know what I'm saying? Welcome home. Try everything else out, right? When you go in and you don't have success over there, come back. Trust me, I guarantee you I'm going to go and help you out. Okay? But with that being said, what I'm trying to say with that is I'm not here trying to sell you some shit, right? I'm giving you guys the answer to your problem. I have a service that works, right? And if you have an issue or you're having trouble or you're having difficulty of getting into the industry, this is what I do. This is what I specialize in. This is what I dedicate my life to, right? Is it profitable? Yes. But why is it profitable? It's not because I'm the biggest company out there. It's not because I'm the best marketer. It's not because I'm the best developer in the world. No, it's because the things that we do help the people that come to CodingPhase.com. The results is there. You get what I'm saying? So, again, what I'm trying to tell you guys with this is like, you could even use my curriculum. The curriculum is right there. You don't even have to learn from me. You go in and learn from whoever you want. Now, why should you learn from me? Because I'm the source. I'm the plug. What other people's going to do is they're going to come in and dilute the flavor. You want the real flavor. You know what I'm saying? This is the abstract of the flavor. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get the fucking, the cheap shit that's out there. And someone's going to give you, hey man, try to give you what we give you. But that's on you if you want to do that. But the career path is there. Content editor, HTML email developer. This is the two things that will help you get in as soon as possible with the least amount of skills to get you in. From there, you continue learning front-end development, back-end development, right? And we recommend PHP development because PHP is about 60 to 70% of the web. Doesn't matter where you go, doesn't matter where you live, somewhere in the world, someone is going to need your services as a PHP developer, right? I could go in and tell you guys, hey man, learn this random language, this random framework, this random thing that only 10 people use in the world, right? And everyone loves and everyone is applying to this thing, right? Or I could tell you, hey man, this is where everyone is using, right? A lot of people don't want to learn. So guess what? You're going to find more success there. A lot of the stuff that I have on CodingPhase is not things that I wake up. I don't wake up in the morning and say, gosh, I want to do a web development today. I want to do email development. I don't do it like that, right? The reason why I have these things is not because I wake up in the morning. I'm like, gosh, I want to be an email developer. No, it's because this works. This helps the students get into jobs, right? And helps them build that experience. What I really want to do is help you become a full stack developer, help you become a Shopify theme developer, help you become an XR developer. Those are the things that I wake up in the morning excited, right? I'm like, damn, I'm excited about this, right? But I can't go in and tell you, hey man, I can guarantee the results that you're going to get doing this stuff without having some type of experience. Now, the moment I check that off, right? Now I know that I can come in and I can teach you the rest of these things. And you're going to have a higher chance of success. Excuse me. So, because I've been doing this long enough, we're talking about 6-7 years, bro. This is not like some shit that I started yesterday. Every year, every month, I tweak the service. I look at the research that's out there, the type of jobs and opportunities that's out there. I go in and I tweak my curriculums according to that. You know what I mean? So when I go in and I tell somebody, hey, learn the skills so you can build that experience, because I could teach you front-end development. I could teach you back-end development. But the level to entry is going to be more difficult for you. So what I do is I treat everything like a checklist, right? And if you guys want, y'all could write this down. This is where you want to go in and you want to get some notes or put in your mind, right? This is the things that you want to go and do. Number one, you want to learn HTML, CSS, basics, super easy. Number two, get jobs with that skill. Right? Build experience, because you're still going to have to learn JavaScript. You're still going to have to learn React. You're still going to have to learn some type of backend language, etc. Right? But you want to start building experience. So by the time you get to that point, you come in with experience and you could continue the conversation. Last thing you want to do is you have a great portfolio and someone goes in and gives you a chance to do an interview, but then they ask you, hey, what's your professional history with web development? And you just be like, conversation's over. You're not getting the job. That's it. It's over. It's done. But if you come in and you say, well, you know, I worked for this company. We basically managed their content, helped them post all of the articles a certain amount of time. They also have an e-commerce store. You know, I go in and manage all of their content and the products. You know, the last July 4th, you know, we had a sale that we generated over $5 million in one day. You have something to talk about. Eyes open up. Eyes open up. People love money. People love seeing someone getting some shit done for them. But if you show up, it's like, well, I got a to-do app, and you know, I tried, you know, React Query, and I'm pretty good with Tailwind CSS, and you know, I did this great project with the Pokemon API. You could check my website; it's right there. What is it? Is it lilbilly.com? No. I don't even have a domain. My website is lilbilly.githubpages.com. You don't look like a pro. You're not moving like a pro. You got to think of yourself as a business. So again, going back to the list, this is where you start writing your notes. Okay. Number one, learn HTML, CSS. Number two, figure out a way to start using HTML, CSS to start building experience for yourself. Number three, build a portfolio. And every time that you learn a skill, you want to go in and update your portfolio. You don't go in and say, well, I know HTML, CSS. I know how to do email development, and I leave my portfolio like that for the next 5 years. No, you continue to go in and update your portfolio. The shit that you knew 6 months ago and you thought that was cool is garbage today. You take it out. You go in and you add new projects, new shit that you have done. And one of the best ways that you can go in and add new projects is put yourself out there on Upwork, Fiverr, right? Go on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter. Tell people that you can provide a service for them. Okay? Even if it's something simple. Because you can use that as leverage to get your next position or get, you know, your next gig. You get what I'm saying? So again, once you have that portfolio and you add those projects, you want to continue updating it. Every time you learn a new skill or you get a new job, you want to go in and add projects that are relevant to the new skills that you have. Okay? Create a developer brand. You are a business. Don't listen to nobody else out here, right? You are a business. If you think like a business, you're going to always succeed. You need to go in and promote yourself. You need to go in and show that you are an authority in this field, right? I'll give you a great example myself, right? There's people that could go in and say, well, I'm not an authority in Node.js. I'm not an authority in JavaScript. I'm not an authority in PHP. I'm not an authority in none of that because that's not what I've been building my brand for. What I am an authority on, I can help people get into jobs as developers, right? Junior developers. Right? That's what I just been focusing on, right? Can I go in and make money on my own applications? Of course I can. I've done it plenty of times. I have a digital agency right now that we bringing in $10,000 to $15,000 a month. And I did that shit in 2020, was it 2021? Just for the hell of it, just to prove something here on YouTube, right? Just to show people, hey, you can go in on Etsy, you can sell digital products, and we did that shit with our eyes closed, okay? So when I come in and I use my whole knowledge and everything that I've done, that's my brand. That's all of the shit that I'm coming with. You guys need to start building your own brands. Y'all need to start bringing in a resume, a whole portfolio of the work that you have done, of how you've been able to generate income for others or generate income for yourself. That's where the value is at. Okay? If you do that, you're going to succeed. The roadmap is very simple. Learn a skill, look at every skill that you have, and go in and make that to become profitable. You learn HTML, CSS, how can I make $50 off that? How can I get a job for this? Oh, it's only $50,000, 80, $60,000, $75,000. Cool. People go to college, 4 years to school, right? Just to get a $35,000, $45,000 job. You did it with 2 months. You're already ahead of everybody else. Now, how do you continue being ahead of everybody else? This is what I've been trying to do my whole career. I've been trying to go in and look at, I compare myself to every developer that I meet. I'm sizing you up, right? You might spend more time, like someone right now, like I haven't spent no time, again, with JavaScript. I have like a year and a half, 2 years. I just don't touch it, right? So there's dudes that are very knowledgeable that know a lot of shit in JavaScript right now, right? Of all the like the latest things, but I don't keep up with that shit. I focus on what is going to get me paid, right? But I sized them up. I said, damn, this guy is very knowledgeable, very smart, but guess what? He don't make more money than me. Guess what? He don't have a business as successful as me. Guess what? This person is not actually going in. If I go and I tell them, hey, build a business tomorrow, they can't do it. So guess what? Someone like me has to go in and hire them and give them an opportunity. So this is why I tell you guys, think of yourself as a business from the ground up. Since you start, you want to get into this career, think of yourself as a business. Move like a business owner. Make strategic moves. Not by passion, not by, this is what I like. I like to use Tailwind and Node.js. And this is, if there's no money there for you right now, don't do it. If there's no job opportunities for you there, don't do it. You got to do a business decision. Business decisions are not made of passion. You get what I'm saying? If I was to do passion, then guess what? You know what my whole website will be about? Crystal Lang. Ruby. I don't do decisions on that. I do decisions on what's going to get my students results because that's my business. I got to think of you guys. Same thing as like on YouTube. Like right now we got 100,000 subscribers. But guess what? We could have gotten 100,000 subscribers like 5 years ago. But I don't want to go in and give you guys what you want. I want to give you guys what you need. I could go in and have been doing, portfolio reviews back to back. That's what YouTube wanted me to do from the beginning. Do back-to-back portfolio reviews. But guess what? That's not what I want to do. What I want to do is I want to help people. Because a lot of the people that watch the portfolio reviews, they're watching it, but they're not applying anything that I tell them. Because I see the same mistakes on every portfolio review that I do. People come to YouTube and do this shit as entertainment. When I come here, it's like right now, you just spent an hour with me. Everything that I taught you in this live stream is gems. If you know how to apply it to yourself and you actually take action. Okay? But people come here on YouTube and waste time on entertainment. There's dudes that watch everybody's day in the life as a software engineer. I don't need to watch nobody's day in the life as a software engineer. I'm a software engineer and I'm living a day in my life. Why do I need to watch everybody's fucking day in the life? For what? What do I care about that shit? You know what I watch on YouTube? People that can teach me how to make more money, how to grow my businesses. How can I learn skills and when there's opportunities? I don't want to learn the shit that's popular that everybody fucking is paying attention to. I want to go and learn opportunities. Give me opportunities, things that's coming up. You know, it's like the stock market, right? There's no point on watching someone. You know, it's like